So history awaits one way or another. Then he bends it. What a goal! He's done it again. Remember the name. What the finish! Rimmer! Oh, what a free kick! Wow. Oh my word!
This is just pure touch, instinct, confidence.
Western United have won the A-League Championship.
Hello, I'm Neve Owens. Welcome to the opening round of the Isuzu UTE A-League Highlights Show. The longest off-season in world football is finally over. The transfers are done and it's time for the on-field action to do the talking. Kicking off on Friday night is the grand final replay. Melbourne City up against Western United. Former Lazio midfielder Valon Berisha joins Melbourne City on loan, whilst Western United has bolstered their attack with Socceroo James Troisi. Calling all the action is Robbie Thompson and Daniel McBreen.
And it's straight onto the front foot with Troisi. And that's a brilliant stop by Glover. And that was almost a perfect start for Western United last year. The best save percentage in the league. Oh, it's been won by Leckie here, who shoots. And it's another save by Jamie Young. That's one apiece for he and Glover already inside 8 minutes.
Well, it's something that City do well.
Big switch of play. No foul, says the referee. Berisha looks up, looks to pick his spot. Fantastic strike, the follow-up. City have the opening goal of the A-League season despite the heroics of Jamie Young.
If you look there, yeah, I suppose you can say it's not shoulder to shoulder. Mauriccio's got across his line and he's gone into the back of him.
Has there been anything to suggest that should turn it over? Decision overturned. Free kick in the history of the A-League last year. But they're without Prijovic and Naboo continues to put himself about. Connor Payne wants to get involved. And they've come from everywhere. It is a Melbourne derby after all. Tempers fraying before half an hour in. Troisi steps over. Kilkenny delivers towards Lacroix. Oh, it's another brilliant stop from Glover. That looked like it was just squeezing inside the post. He wasn't without his critics last season, Tommy Glover.
Let's play out here. 2 wins in their first 7. A hard Champions League campaign away.
There's Leckie, just breaks onto that left-hand side. Looks up, chips back post again for Naboo! Oh, and when Young is beaten, oh, but it's in surely! Oh! Berisha has fired over, but the goal counts! It's crossed the line. Berisha still can't believe he missed with the follow-up, but it didn't matter. They were denied by VAR. Their first goal of the season. 7 minutes before half-time, they've got it now. The only mystery remains, who scored?
But it was a lovely hung-up ball. See here on the Harvey Norman replay, it's just hung up at that back post, and watch Naboo attack this. And when Jamie Young was beat, you thought they just saved it. And as the ball fell down, Lacroix just couldn't quite get rid of it.
And Western United have to be careful, very careful. Oh, McLaren has robbed Leo Lacroix of possession. And then cool as you like, just lifted the ball over the advancing Jamie Young. It's a nightmare grand final rematch for Leo Lacroix. And Melbourne City are on their way now. Inside an hour, they lead by 2 goals to 0.
Well, it's a part of his game that we don't really talk about because he's such a fine finisher. But Jamie McLaren leads this Melbourne City line with the press on time and time and time again. And on the Harvey Norman replay, we just see Leo Lacroix, he just takes his time on the ball, just pauses for a moment, and Jamie McLaren, he nips in, takes the ball off, and then we see the prowess of the finish. A lovely dink over the stranded Young.
Boss, that's a good ball and a nice turn. Leckie Still going. It's opened up for Leckie, and it's a wonderful save from Jamie Young. And Lacroix again. Surely a flag for offside as Milanovic drives the ball into the back of the net. And have we spoken too soon? 3 minutes left. Oh, Lacroix has missed it again. He's in trouble again here, Leo Lacroix. He's given it away. McLaren for Tilio. Turns inside. Denied by Jamie Young. Leckie again. And now McLaren. What a save by Jamie Young. And Jamie McLaren is screaming at Marco Tilio. Well, they may not have a third goal, but I think they've probably just about seen this one out now.
Yeah, well, it's been a night to forget for Leo Lacroix. I'm not used to seeing him perform like this, and it was one chance after the other, and it was only Jamie Young that's kept them at bay.
Well, if they're in this contest, it's thanks to Jamie Young's saves, and he looks to get them moving quickly again. Oh, as Risdon misses it, and that might just be that. The champions defeated. Melbourne City have got their revenge on the opening day of the season. A nightmare for Leo Lacroix, an own goal to send City on their way. Caught in possession by Jamie McLaren for the second, and despite Nicholas Milanovic's late show, it proved nothing more than a consolation.
What a game to start the campaign. End-to-end action, and Melbourne City getting a small piece of revenge after last season's heartbreak. Our old mate La Nina is back in full force, and we lost one fixture to torrential rain. The F3 derby was postponed due to a seriously waterlogged pitch on the Central Coast. The sun always shines in Queensland though, and a new look Brisbane Roar took on MacArthur FC at Suncorp Stadium, the Roar's first game at Suncorp in 2 years. Former Premier League striker Charlie Austin will lead the line for the three-time champs, whilst the Bulls have a former EPL striker of their own on board. Dwight Yorke makes his head coaching debut in the A-League for the Western Sydney outfit. Ben Homer and Daniel McBreen are your commentary team.
Armiento again. Acres of space on the left. Early ball, Austin! And sliding at the back post was Joe Knowles. What an early chance that was for the two new recruits up top for Brisbane.
Well, I think we're seeing the makings here. The partnership could do well. Brisbane Roar, Armiento on the left. You look how deep he is, and he knows straight away. One touch forward, I'm going to put it into that area. I've got a guy who's scored nearly 300 goals in his career, 18 in the Premier League. I'm putting it there for him. Get on the end of it.
It's been a confident start, but here is the opening. MacArthur were after Toure to Carter. He's missed an open goal. What an opportunity for the Bulls.
Well, all he can do there is look at the linesman and hope that the flag has gone up. I'm not sure that it did, but it was great play as it fell there. Driving run from Toure as he comes through, and he fires it across. And I think it's harder to miss. I know he's stretching for that.
It came quickly, is that
It came quickly
fair?
and he is stretching.
Anthony Carter is down. This is a head clash between he and Tom Aldred. Oh, that's a shocker, especially with Carter not...
Well, neither of them saw the other one coming, did they?
It's Brisbane Roar 0, MacArthur FC 0. O'Shea, Neville sits here for Danzaki. Knowles, Truitt, urged to shoot. That time he couldn't resist the temptation.
It's a difficult one, that one. Stationary as the ball came to him, hard to get the power. So he just gets to come across his body, slices across it.
It's a stalemate at Suncorp in the opening round. Both sides huffed and puffed. Brisbane with the half chances. MacArthur probably with the best of them, despite having less. Full time in Brisbane, the Raw 0, MacArthur 0.
One for the purists right there. Join us after the break as we have a thriller from the new Allianz Stadium, and we'll wrap up the rest of the weekend's action. After 4 long seasons without a regular home, Sydney FC finally returned to the new-look Allianz Stadium for the oldest rivalry in Australian football, the Big Blue. All eyes are on Premier League and Champions League winner Nani, who signed a 2-year contract with Melbourne Victory. Sit back and enjoy as Simon Hill and Andy Harper call the game.
The back slipping away from one. And a heavy touch from Yazbek. Slipped through though. Sydney score. It's Mac, the Slovak. And Sydney are back at the Sydney Football Stadium. They lead the Big Blue on the quarter-hour mark, thanks to their new signing. Brimmer's corner again. There was a victory head on the end of that. They'll drop here for Falami. And D'Agostino, it's 1-1. That is an absolute peach of a header from Nick D'Agostino. He opened the scoring in last season's Big Blue at Jubilee Stadium in May. And last season's top scorer for Victory is on a mission again. It's 1-1. It's a lovely ball. Beautiful from Robert Mack. Joe Lolly onto his favoured left boot. It's too hot to handle for Isuzu, who got so lucky there. Ball came back off the uprights and into his grateful arms. And Joe Lolly's so close to opening his account for Sydney FC. 2 more big games to come in the A-League men's competition tomorrow. Weather permitting, of course. Western Sydney Wanderers against Perth and Combank, and Wellington versus Adelaide. Back in New Zealand the next. Here's Mack. Danger again for Victory. Mack! It's going to be a Sydney corner.
Beautiful. Fans are going to like this. Lolly to Mac. It's like Lillian Marsh.
Raimarshan for Victory. D'Agostino. Oh, now referee has collided. A Sydney FC player, and that's completely knocked the stuffing out of Chris Beath. I think it's Ryan Grant, isn't it?
Yeah.
Goodness me. He has absolutely floored the ref. And on we go. It's been that sort of game, ebbed and flowed. It's a very intelligent ball through the fullback. Nani across the face, surely! Chris Economides, who didn't score a single goal in the last A-League men's season, has put that right. Round 1 in Sydney. And Melbourne Victory lead for the first time in the Big Blue tonight. And Nani was at the centre of it. Now they're ready. And Izzo thought about coming, didn't get there. It's 2-2. It's James Donachie against his old club. His first A-League men's goal in almost 6 years. And how crucial could that be for the Sky Blues?
Well, to add insult to injury for Nishambalupale, this is not a free kick he needed to concede. But what a free kick it was.
And it's Nick D'Agostino. Outside him, Economides should be 3-2, it is! It's Josh Brillante, and Victory lead again through their captain. 1,300 Victory fans going absolutely wild in the corner. What a game!
Well, it's punch and counter-punch. There's such magnificent, incisive football. And Steve Corica licking his wounds. But the battle in midfield, ball spread wide from Berlanti. Look at him continue his run. D'Agostino looks one way, passes the other. Economides scoring the second. Now puts it on a plate for the third for his skipper, Josh Berlanti, to make it 3-2 at Allianz.
Good feet by Patrick Woods. Here's Max Burgess, dropping the shoulder. Burgess! Brilliant save from Paul Isuzu.
Brilliant effort too. The game just keeps getting better, Simon. It keeps getting better. What a great piece of work from Isuzu. Lovely, rasping shot from Burgess. What a great camera angle here. That's going in.
Looks promising for Sydney. Wood needs a good cross. That's gone out of play, and that might just be that.
Well, Lee Broxham's chased. Patrick Wood all the way down. They've ended up in the advertising hoardings, and that's that.
Another classic Big Blue. Boos round out, ring outs around Adelaide Stadium, but not from the Melbourne Victory fans, just as it was 4 years ago at the old SFS. So it is tonight again at the new Allianz Stadium, and by the same scoreline, 3-2. Victory win the Big Blue, and serve notice they will be a force to be reckoned with again. Nearly 22,000 watched it. Brilliant entertainment. 5 goals, a thriller, but in the end, it's Victory who win it by 3-2.
An absolute classic in the torrential rain. Another side returning home is Wellington Phoenix, who welcome Adelaide United to New Zealand. The Knicks signed fan favourite Costa Barbarouses back to his boyhood club for a third time, this time on a 2-year deal. Calling the action is Jason Pine and Jacob Spoonley.
Here come Adelaide again, though. Hot on attack, the Reds into the penalty area. Laws gets it half away on the edge of the area. And the shot along the carpet from Louis Dorigo, palmed wide by Ollie Sale. Adelaide United have come out red hot early on.
Well, they've rolled out in this first 5 minutes. Again, getting the ball into a wide area, dangerous delivery. This time I think it's Dorigo, picks up the ball on the edge of the box. I'm not sure that takes a deflection regardless. Sale doesn't see it till late and gets a really important left hand to see that one around the post.
A straight red card for Jan Sass. Ben Abraham with no hesitation, and despite the Phoenix's protestations, Jan Sass's Wellington Phoenix debut ends after 25 minutes with a straight red card.
I can understand why there's a question around this, but at the same time, there's inadvertent contact there with the standing foot. Jan Sass actually gets the initial contact on the ball. It's unfortunate, Jason Pine.
We can see he slips, doesn't he? And his feet come up. And once you leave your feet, you're in the lap of the gods. He's carved into the Adelaide. We can see Jonathan Gould, Giancarlo Zeliano and Ufuk Talay apoplectic there, and in conversation with Anne-Marie Kiley, the fourth official, trying to calm things down. Carl Viet certainly of the opinion that if you're good enough, you're old enough. Chance now for Wellington. Barbarouses! Gauchi saves, tapped in! Ben Waine all aboard! The Waine train is in operation again, and Wellington lead.
Wellington have raided Adelaide United. We were wondering whether or not the tactics from Tali would pay off. With 15 minutes to play, this Wellington Phoenix crowd is on their feet. Costa Barbarouses announces himself home for the second time, sitting up Ben Waine, who doesn't miss.
Goodwin to deliver. Is there for Halloran! And Adelaide nicked a point at the end. Ben Halloran unmarked on the edge of the penalty area and strokes it home past Ollie Sale. Insult added to injury for Oliver Sale. For Adelaide to 1 for the Phoenix today. Goodwin delivers. Headed away, and then the shot is up and over. A chance there right at the end for Halloran to double his and Adelaide's money. It's finished. The Wellington Phoenix 1, Adelaide United 1.
The Knicks left to rue that last-minute equaliser. The final game of the round is from CommBank Stadium, a revamped Western Sydney Wanderers who made a whopping 17 signings this off-season take on Perth Glory, who themselves welcome 15 new faces to the fold. Simon Hill and Andy Harper are your commentators.
Amalfitano spotting that run. Here's a chance for the Wanderers. And Ninkovic, of all people, couldn't find the right technique at the crucial moment.
But of all the moves we've seen Ninkovic put on in his time in the A-League, Mikhail Baryshnikov's not one of them.
Towards Beavers at near post. And volleyed away by Traore. And that is the final touch in the first half. Has rarely hit the heights. Not too many goal-scoring opportunities for either side. And hopefully better to come from these two teams who are still in rebuilding mode, of course, in the second 45. At the break, Western Sydney Wanderers 0, Perth Glory 0. A little bit of miscommunication. All over the top, and they've got the wrong side. Big chance here for Suleiman Kripic, but he can't take it for Western Sydney Wanderers. Perth got in an awful mess there. And it perhaps just wouldn't sit for the Bosnian.
Well, Marcelo drops the ball over into the vacant space. Beavers is the favourite at this point, but he opts to stretch. Is almost the tangle that could have conceded a penalty, and it's fallen not particularly beautifully for Suleiman Kripic, but certainly good enough.
It's gone over the top of the defender, and Borrello is onto it. Oh, and it just bounces up in front of Reddy. It's an open goal, and nodded in by Suleiman Kripic. And Western Sydney Wanderers have the breakthrough with 12 minutes to go, thanks to their Bosnian international. A scruffy goal, but they won't care, they all count. And in a tight game, could that be the winner for the red and black?
Well, they all count on the Harvey Norman replay. It's a goal that sort of sums up the football match so far. Level with the ball, slight question about him being onside or offside, but having squandered the best chance of the match so far, Kripic does find his debut goal for his new club.
Amalfitano didn't get hold of that at all, almost a complete air swing. Returned by Kleur, intelligent ball. Nazarene has one go at it. Might get a second, looks for a penalty, and Kurt Am says yes. Stefan Kolakovsky adjudged to have impeded Rami Nazarene, and this could seal it now for the Wanderers. Suleiman Kripic is charged with the responsibility. The Bosnian flag of his heritage flying in the background in the stands. Kripic against Reddy. And Reddy plunges to his left and makes the save, and keeps Perth alive for a couple of more minutes at least. He has been known to be a bit of a penalty-saving specialist in the past, and he gets the right way. Decent height for the keeper, it must be said as well. That's blocked. The follow-up! Oh, and Lawrence Thomas finally called into action in the 95th minute of the game, and he's equal to it. However, it is the Wanderers who get the chocolates, thanks to Suleiman Kripic's late strike. He missed a penalty as well after Stefan Kolakovsky had fouled Rami Nazarene, but in the end it doesn't matter. That's the way it finished at CommBank. Western Sydney Wanderers 1, Perth Glory 0.
Before we go, let's take a look at the league table, but don't worry too much, Perth fans, it is very early days. Round 1 wins for Victory, City and the Wanderers, whilst the Jets and the Mariners are yet to play their opening fixture. Join us next week for more Isuzu Ute A-League football.